Last time we were discussing about the HM or the hierarchy manager. So these are the steps basically for the HM. We had done till the 9th step, means we have configured the HM property and we had loaded the data from the data manager and tested the HM configuration. So anyone has any questions in that? So this is the configuration that we had done between two tables, address table and the customer table, where we had converted our address base object to entity base object and then customer base object to entity base object, and this was the relationship table between customer and address. So this table we had converted to relationship base object, and then finally we have added the entity types, relationship types and the hierarchies. So these are the configurations we did on the top. After doing that, we did the profiles, where we created this admin profile and selected the relationship type. So once we select the relationship type, whatever entity types and relationship types that are associated with it will come down. So here on the down profiles, same configuration will come down. So this relationship type was between address and customer. So that is why address and customer entity only came down. So with address, you have two things on the top, address and address one. So both didn't came, only address came because we have created a relationship between address and customer entity. So once this structure comes up, then we have to create put packages and display packages for each of the entity types and relationship types. So which we can do it here itself. We can do a right click and create a package. And after creating a package, we need to provide all these details, label, tooltip. So label is like we saw that whenever we open a record, what is the column which we want to see as a label. So full name, like we had selected as a label here, and as a tooltip, like whenever we point the mouse over it, we want to see the first name and the last name values. So that is basically the tooltip. And then we have a common where we just need to select the YD object, and then based on the requirement, these are the search, list, detail, put and add option we can select here. Just we need to ensure that we are selecting in particular order. Even if there is a gap, that is fine, but the order should be correct and we cannot have duplicate numbers here. And these numbers are coming based on the column, the number of columns you have here, those many numbers it will show starting from 0. So here it is showing like from 0 to 9 because we have only 10 columns available here. So once you have filled it all the three for the customer, address and the relationship type object, all the three are filled up, then we have to validate our HM profile, which we can again go back to our profile, and there is a validate tab. This is just to ensure that whatever configuration you have done is correct. So if you see something like this, means your HM configuration is correct. And it will show you all the colors you have used, the icons you have used, and the access level that you have provided. So all these details will be present here. And after that, we went to the data manager. Last time we inserted couple of records and we had seen this data through the HM hierarchy manager, basically how it looks. So today we'll see through the normal process, like once this configuration is done, then what are the other things that we need to do from the schema perspective. So now like we have to come to the base objects, for example customer base object, and here you have this column base object class code or BO class code, which will get created. So this was created when we converted the base object to entity base object. So this BO class code column was added here. So now like we have to go to our staging tables. So in the staging table, it will not be selected here. I have selected it already. In the staging table, this will not be a selected column because you have just created it. So you need to select this column and define the lookup process. So we need to click on this edit button and define the lookup process. So lookup process, as you know that this is a lookup table. All the RBO tables are lookup tables or static tables. So we don't need to go through the PK source object. We can directly select the column itself. We have to select this BO class code option. So whatever values we are passing here, it will directly go to the RBO BO class table and it will check the BO class code column. So similar thing we have to do for the other tables as well. Like this is the customer table. Similarly, we have to do for address table and the relationship table. So this is the first configuration that we have to do from staging point of view. That we need to go to all the staging tables, select this column and define the lookup process. Similarly, we will go to the address table and in this also we have this BO class code column. So we need to select this column and again define the lookup. And again this lookup will be directly on the column, not on the PK source object. So these two tables are done, address table and customer table, and finally the relationship table. So in the relationship table, we will have this hierarchy code and the rel type code. So we need to select them and define the lookup. So as you know, like whenever you convert a base object to relationship based object, these two columns gets added, hierarchy code and the rel type code. So just need to click on this edit button and again select the column. Directly we need to select the column because hierarchy code or the rel type code, they all are from basically static tables or lookup table. So like this, all the staging table has to be selected. So this is from the staging perspective, and similarly you need to go to the landing tables and you will have to create these columns. So landing table, like here we'll go to the landing table and here we don't have that column BO class code, so we'll have to create this column. BO class code, and BO class code is basically varchar 255 characters, the size of that. That's why we will also put 255 characters. But it is not mandatory here because we are using entity type as customer or address, so they are very small. If you want, you can put small size also. You can say varchar 10 or varchar 20 also. That is also fine. But just because as a best practice, we can say the column size is 255. That's why I am also putting 255. Other than that, there is no specific reason for that. Similarly, for the customer table also, we will have to add this BO class code column. And again, the size I am giving as 255. And finally, the relationship table, where we have to add two columns. the relationship table. The relationship table somehow is deleted here. Okay, no problem. I will just create this relationship table. So this is the landing table, so I will just import all the columns from the base object table. So I have imported all the columns, and this one, as you know, that customer row ID and the address row ID is character 14 in the base object, but when you come to the staging table, landing table, you will have to make this as varchar 255 characters, because this is again we pass the pk source object value, and pk source object is 255 characters. And in the base object, every column is a nullable not null column, so here we'll just make everything as a nullable, because landing table has all the columns as nullable columns. So this is a change in the landing table, and then finally we have to make a change in the mapping. These are the three changes which are required if you have to load the data through the normal process. So we'll go to the mappings here. No, the mappings are deleted now. Okay, no problem. I'll just create the mapping again. So in my case, like, it is deleted somehow, but in your case it will be present, and you just need to map that extra column. Oh, sorry, I selected wrong. So this column base object class code will not be mapped. So you have selected this column in your staging table and you have created it in your landing table. So both the places this view class code column will appear, and then you just need to map this column and save it. So that is the only change which will be required in the mapping side. So only these three changes are required in staging table, landing table, and your mappings. So these two things, so here also the BO class code column is from landing table is mapped to the staging table. So this one more thing that you can do is, sometime you might say that BO class code column, I know that that's a static thing, and for the address I am going to pass always one value. I am not going to pass like multiple values. So address, for address table I just have address. For customer table I just have customer. I don't have multiple values. So in this case, either you can do this part, you can create a column in your landing table and then you can map it, or you can do another way also. You can just add a constant here, like this. You can just create this constant and you can map it with your staging table. So this also can be done. Both the ways it is fine. Means creating a landing column in the landing table and mapping it, or you can just add the hard code here. If you know that for your customer table or address table you are using only one entity type. So in this case this is also fine. And finally the relationship table. So this is the relationship table. In this relationship table you will have the hierarchy code and the rel type code. Again the same way we can do, either we can add the columns here and map it, or we can So these are some of the records in the landing table. So now we have an extra column here as BO class code. So we need to populate this value. Before that, the customer table, okay, we had only one record. So now we need to pass the BO class code column here. So I have like 5, I am loading some 4 customers here, and for these customers we need to populate the BO class code. So what is the BO class code we need? BO class code is basically the entity type. So entity type that we are using for the customer table is customer itself. So you can get it from either MDM, you can go to the MDM console and from there you can get it, or you can go to the CRBO BO class, from there also you will get the name. So MDM, like we can go to the MDM first, to the hierarchies, and here we have that entity type as customer. So I can just copy it and paste it here. So I have just couple of rows, so that's why I'm just pasting it here. Otherwise we can write an update statement which will update all the records. So BO class code is a not null column in our tables, so we need to populate this column. If you don't populate, all the records will get rejected. or we can use that option if you don't want to load. You can use allow null foreign key option in case you don't want to pass it. And similarly for the address table, we again have this BO class code, but in this case we don't need to pass it. Why we don't need to pass it? Because in my mapping I have hard coded it. The BO class code is hard coded as address, so that is why I don't need to put any value in the BO class code. And similarly we'll go to the relationship table. Here we need to add some data. We'll just check like what are the primary keys we have used here. So for customer we have these value F5, 6, 7, 8, and address we have EDDR 5 and 6. Okay. So we'll go to the relationship table and we'll add the data here. So in this we have to use this hierarchy code and the rel type code. So again you can go to the respective tables, hierarchy code, CRVO hierarchy code and CRVO rel type, or again you can pull this from MDM. So we can go back to the MDM and go to hierarchies, and this is the name HIER1. This is the name we have used for hierarchy. You can just copy paste it here in the SQL developer. And similarly the rel type code we have used is HAS has. So this is the code HAS. We can get it from here. Just copy it and again paste it back here. So like this we can create multiple records here for the relationship. Just insert 3 records here. Saying that the first customer is associated with both the addresses and the second customer is associated with only one address. Because this is a many-to-many relationship between the customer table and the address table. That is why we are inserting the relationship data here. So now again we have to go and load the data basically through the normal process. We have to do stage job and the load job for both the customer address and this relationship table. So we'll go back to the batch viewer and we will run these jobs. Some errors coming while going to the back. Okay, so no problem. We'll just quickly create it here itself. We'll add a batch group because at least this is coming up. So just put here in this batch group all the stage jobs. Oh. So all the stage jobs are done, put first, and then all the load jobs. So at the last, load job for the relationship table is there because that is dependent on the address and customer. We'll just run this. That job is done, and but we have some errors here, especially in the address. Both the address are rejected here. Let's see what is the reason. Oh, country code cannot have null value. Okay, that's fine because in the address we have this country code which is a lookup, and we have not passed any data for that particular country. That is why it is throwing this error. So as of now, I'll just go and make this as null, allow null for key option, so that even if null value is coming, it will allow the record to get inserted. So that was the error for address, and other than address, this is a rejected record because the lookup was failed on address. So now we can go and run it again. This time all the records are loaded here in the tables, address table, customer table, and the relationship table. So now we can go and see the data directly in the hierarchy manager. So this we had seen previously in the hierarchy manager. So we have to go to the search and search for a particular record. So this is like address. We have to search either based on the entity type or relationship type. So we will have either address or customer. We can search any based on any one of them. So this is the search screen which we are seeing here. Once we click on the search, we will get a list screen. So this is the list screen which shows us all the details. So we can select a particular customer. So once we select it, here this is the label part which shows full name is F5, and when we point to the mouse over it, it shows the first name and the last name column. So that is a part of tooltip. So whatever columns we have specified, those columns will appear here. And then we can, if you want to do check the relationship, we can do fetch one hop, and it will give us the relationship that this address is related to, that this customer is related to two addresses. So this is what we have given in the landing table also. We had given that F5 customer will be associated with these two addresses. So like this, we can, once we have loaded the data, we can come here to the hierarchy manager and we can just verify that it looks correct. One more thing here is, probably if you have noticed, in the base object level, BO class code column, whatever BO class code column or the hierarchy code column or the rel type code column that gets created, that is created as a not null column. So see, if we are in the development environment and we have some data, I can go and truncate this table, customer table or the address table, and I can work on it. But suppose like MNAME is already in the live environment, and at a later point of time the business says that I want to implement HM. In that case, we cannot go and directly implement HM on the production environment. Why? Because of this reason. Because these columns, whenever we convert a base object to entity base object, this column BO class code gets created. And this column is a not null column. And while creating it doesn't give an option also that I can put some default value. So in the production environments, we cannot do it. Means we cannot implement the HM directly. And second thing is, we cannot truncate also table. We cannot say that we will truncate the table and reload the data back again. So in this case, if you have to implement HM, we generally do it like this. So what we do is, we will not do the HM in the main environment. So what we will do is, we will go to the create a new ORS basically. In that ORS, I will do an export of my ORS, or suppose the production environment is there. I will do an export of production environment and put that into a new ORS, which is a blank ORS. In that blank ORS, which doesn't have any data, only metadata is present, I will configure HM. Like I did here. There was no data in the tables, so I configured the HM. After the HM is configured, we can test it here itself by loading the data, whether my HM configuration looks fine or not. Once it looks fine, what we will do is, I will come here and make these columns as nullable columns. So all these columns in the address table, in the customer table, and in your relationship table, wherever we have these not null columns, I will go and make this as a nullable column. Similarly, in the customer table also, I have this BO class code as a not null column, so I will make this as nullable column. And similarly for the relationship table. Again, we'll go to the relationship table, and we will make these two columns only as nullable columns, because these are the new columns which are added. After we have made this change, then we will do an export of the ORS, the new ORS on which we have implemented the HM. I will take it to the production environment and I will apply the changes. In this case, all these columns will get created because they are nullable columns, and we can add a nullable column anytime. Once the columns are created in the production environment, we will reload the data. We will update all the hierarchy code and the rel type code for all the columns. And once it is updated, then you can come and remove the checkbox here again. So that's the step that we have to follow in case we already have data in our environments and we don't want to truncate the data. So this is the step that you can follow so that the data doesn't get deleted, and we can implement the HM also. Any questions on this? So this basically completes HM, where we have basically covered all the scenarios of the HM, how the HM has to be implemented. So this we have, like, as a part of training, we have done on two tables, like customer table and the address table. If you want to do on a, first, if you have to try first, try on two different table itself, customer table, address table, and the relationship table. Later on, if you want to try just based on a single table, then you can try it later. You can just have a customer table where you can say, where you have a hierarchy basically, where you have like different levels, employee, manager, senior manager, these types of data is there. In those cases, you can configure HM on a single table. Or in case you have a party table, you can create a party table also, where you can put two types of data, customer data and organization data, and just you can implement the HM there itself. So one table will be there and one relationship table, two tables will be there. Here we are using three tables. Okay, so we are done with HM. If you have any questions, let me know. So next we will be starting with the IDD part. That's the Informatica Data Director. Okay, then if you don't have any questions, then we'll end this session. And we'll meet up tomorrow and continue with this IDD part. So there are three main things which are remaining, which is the IDD and the SIF part. These are the two things, and under IDD only we have this active VOS, which is used as a workflow engine. So those are the three main things which are remaining that we'll be doing. Okay, thanks everyone. Bye.